So I wanted to first ask you, because this was a big one. So in Sikhism, what is God called, and how is God described? How is God felt? So first of all, what do you call God? What are your names for God?
So we have many names for God, and but the one that we use the most is probably Waheguru.
Waheguru.
Waheguru, which means wondrous Guru. And the names, how would I describe God? One of the things that we learn is that it is very difficult to describe God completely. God is so infinite that there is so much that you cannot, if you spent a lifetime, achieve a description of God. So that's how I'm going to answer part of the question. But the other thing is, we believe God is truly omnipotent, meaning all-powerful, truly omniscient, meaning all-knowing, and truly omnipresent, meaning present everywhere, which means that the divine is inside of us as well. So that would be the short 1-minute version of God.
Pretty well done. I don't know that I could do that. Very good. And so to tell me a little bit, I was so moved when you first told me about the concept of oneness in Sikhism, how the first few verses in your holy scriptures speak about this. What is the feeling of oneness in Sikhism?
So I guess the way I would describe it is the oneness is everything. Our holy scriptures, the Granth Sahib, which we'll talk more about,
yes,
starts with actually a number. It is the only scripture that I'm familiar with that starts with a number, and that number is 1. So in our language, 1 means ik, and then it becomes ik on God, and the on God is the description of the source, the creator, the divine.
Wow.
Okay, so for us, everything goes back to the one. Everything is back to the one human race, the one divine. We are all part of that divine. We are all within that divine, and we are all one together.
Beautiful, beautiful. Share with us what you feel the most important aspects of Sikhism are, and how do you apply them to daily life? So,
can I give 3 instead of 1?
Please. Yes, most important.
Yes,
the
well,
3 most important is perfect.
I would say for us as a faith, there were really 3 values or 3 things that we talk about, and you'll hear them. One of them is called Nam Japna, which means to worship the name of the Creator, the Source. So Nam Japna is one of those. Kirt Karna means to do honest, hard labor. So what you'll see is members of the Sikh community are always engaged in honest labor and are working towards that. So you've done the worship component, you've done the hard work component, and now it is time to share. So we have a phrase called Wandke Chakna, which means we share everything that we have got with others.
Yes, you do.
Okay? I would say that those would be the principles that I would say are the ones that are the most important, because they are all about being something. I'd like to say Sikhism is all about the experience. It is not about the belief. So just because you believe in something doesn't just make it. You also have to go out and experience it and work it and do your part in society as well as in life and with your family. That would be my answer.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Isn't that beautiful? That's treat and move your feet. Where we say pray and move into action. That's beautiful. So tell us a little bit about how you feel about religious freedom.
I love it. Okay, so what's interesting is religious freedom is a major component of our belief systems. So I'll just describe this briefly. Our 9th Guru, and we'll talk more about the Gurus in a second, he was called upon to actually give his life for another faith. So at that time, it was a difficult time. He asked and gave his life not for his religious beliefs, but for others. I would say that that is a major component of why I work with the Interfaith Alliance and the things that I do.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we are all going to be, after this service, we're all going to be fed with the Langar. And for all of you, it's spelled Langar, but it's pronounced Langar. So after the service, you might be a little lungry. So we will all be fed. So I would like to know, what is the origin of the Langar? How did that come about?
So first things first, had I known you were going to say Lungry, I might have just known and held out. I have never had a variation like that. And to do it in front of 1,500 people, thank you so much. So for those of you who are interested in knowing about the Langar and what it means to be Lungri, let me answer to you this way. Okay. And now let me get very serious, because we're supposed to have a serious conversation.
Oh, heavens no.
Okay. So
this
the
is
history,
fun, my friend.
The history of the Langar actually started with the first Guru, Guru Nanak. And what he did was he realized that at that time, and remember, this is 500 years ago or so, people of different castes and different creeds, different faiths, different everything, did not sit together. And in order to create an equality of all, he instituted the Langar. And the Langar was also instituted to feed the poor, because the poor need to be taken care of.
Yes.
It was the, wow, I'm getting emotional about this.
Yeah.
It was the third Guru who actually institutionalized the Langar.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And it's been there for 500 years.
Such good work in the world you do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's such a deep part of your seva, your spiritual practice. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So tell us, speaking of that, tell us, where do Sikhs pray? Tell us about the temple, the Gurdwara.
You know, first things first, we do not have a Sabbath. There is no specific day which is considered more sacred or less sacred than the other. We are supposed to pray every single day. It's a part of the, it's a part of being. Mm-hmm. You wake up every day, you eat every day, so why is it you only pick one day to pray, okay? And so the prayers that are there, we have morning prayers and we have evening prayers. The organized component of our faith is around the Gurdwara, or the Sikh temples, as we call them here in the West. And that is where you meet with other members of the community and like-minded members to sit, to pray, to meditate, to be together. Mm-hmm. So that is the practice. So there's individual, which you're supposed to do every day, and then also the communal aspect as well.
Beautiful. It is such a community feeling. I would love for you to tell our friends, what is the translation of the word Gurdwara?
So the Gurdwara means the Guru's door. That is the simplest explanation I can give it.
That's so cool. I love that. Now, I've also heard many folks often will confuse Sikhism with Buddhism, Islam, and Hinduism. And so can you clarify what it is that you have in common and what it is, where it is that it might be different with those three faiths?
I'll give the simplest answer I can. Mm-hmm. Just like the Hindu faith, we do believe in reincarnation. And the reincarnation is one which is based on your relationship with the source. It is not necessarily a fixed story that goes forward. You can change your future by doing things and by grace right now. So we have that in common. We are different in the sense that we believe in one source, one creator, one divine. And as many of you already know, the Hindu faith believes in countless. Mm-hmm. In terms of Islam, Islam is a beautiful faith. We share one God with them, and we believe that the source, the creator, the divine is also present everywhere. And comparatively speaking, I would say that we do not have the concept of heaven and hell. Mm-hmm. We do not have a single heaven and hell. I would say heaven and hell are temporary states. We believe they're all temporary states that you go through as a part of your birth and death cycle. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing that is ever permanent. except becoming one with the source, becoming one with God, which can happen at any time, including during a human birth. With Buddhism, this is interesting, you picked three of them, and they're all and Eastern religions,
Yes.
and one is Abrahamic. In terms of Buddhism, we share many, many commonalities and thoughts there as well. I would say the concept of pain, suffering, sukh and dukh, meaning ease and difficulty, and the whole cycle of up and down in terms of life, that is shared very much with Buddhism. And depending on which Buddhist philosophy you look at, we do believe that there is a creator, a source, a oneness that exists out there. So I would venture those would be the high-level comparisons between the various faiths.
Beautiful, beautiful. And tell me now, what is the belief that Sikhs have about women and equality? And hold that mic close, because we want to get all of this when you speak this, please, my friend.
I'm going to be recorded, is what you're saying.
You bet.
So what's interesting, I saw your video that you did, and you were speaking about Sikhism and the role of women. What is fascinating is that Sikhism is the first major religion that actually codified and stated clearly that women are equal to men in role, in all aspects, including spiritual. No one is higher, no one is lower. Everything that men can do for spiritual, for religious, for whatever, women can do it as well. And what you will see in many of our Gurdwaras is that women take part in all aspects of the services. And there is nothing that stops anyone from doing any aspect of the service, and I'll share a quick story with you. My sister got married, and our best friend, she did the wedding.
That's beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's beautiful. And so I would like to know now, I would love for you to share with our community and our beautiful community online, what is the Sikh view of homosexuality?
Okay. So, I'm going to answer the question this way.
Yes.
The first part of it is that there is nothing within our scriptures, within our Bani, that I'm aware of that refers to or even talks about any aspect of sexuality, okay? And that is me now personally responding to that. Here's what I believe. I believe that the Creator made me. I don't know, I can't get up and say I'm a self-made person, okay? So the Creator made me the way I am. The Creator also made the other individuals who are also part of the one. So I am not here to judge those individuals, because the path that has been decided for me is maybe different to me, but is a path which is already there for all aspects. So I would answer it as follows. It does not matter, from a Sikhism point of view, when you walk through the Gurdwara, it does not matter if you're gay or straight. It does not matter if you're black or white. It does not matter what faith you are, what religion you are. It does not matter what gender you are. Your political affiliation, for those of you who are looking at politics right now, does not matter at all. Your political affiliation does not. What really matters is that you are a human being, you are one human being, and you're part of a human race. And I would say if you're suffering, it is the job of a Sikh to take care of you.
Amen. Amen. So we will talk more in depth about the turban later, but I want to just ask you a few words. What do you want us to know the most, in your words, about what the turban signifies? Just briefly. Briefly.
I would say it signifies standing up and standing out, okay? Because what it means for me personally is that I'm always standing up and standing out, all right? And in whatever I do, I have to be that much better than I can be. From a religious point of view, it was given to us to cover our hair because as you know, we keep long hair. We can talk more about that another time in more detail, as I like to say. But the hair and the covering of the hair, and as an article of faith, those are the things that it means for me.
Yes.
And it identifies me personally, but it also says that I have to step up and take care of my fellow human beings.
Beautiful. I also want to hear from you a little bit. I find it fascinating, and for those of you who don't know, the holy scriptures in Sikhism, called the Guruji or the Guru Granth Sahib, it's the only scriptures in any religion where the scriptures, the holy scriptures, are considered to be a living being. And we will be bringing those scriptures out, the Guruji, and we will do that a little bit later in the service. That's why we're all covering our heads out of respect. But I wanted to know from you, and you can let everyone know here, where did that come from? Where did this concept of this incredible idea of the Guruji, the scriptures being a living being, how did that come about? And who wrote that? Would you share with everyone the scriptures?
So our scriptures, to my knowledge, not only begin with the number 1, but they are also the only scriptures which were codified or captured in writing while our gurus were alive. Virtually every other faith that I'm aware of, there was an oral tradition which was then followed by codification or by the writing of those oral traditions. We were blessed that our gurus were writing, and many of our scriptures were actually in their handwriting, and they wrote them.
Well, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I just learned that right this minute.
Well, hey, you used
Really?
Langar, I had to throw that out on the table, you know.
That's great.
Okay,
That's
so
great.
that is, and
Wow.
so we believe. So for us, the teachings are the embodiment. It is not the book itself. And my apologies to the international Sikh audience. It is really living the message that is there. It's not just the physical aspect of it. It is the Bani, or what we call our scriptures, is to live those. That is what matters.
Beautiful, beautiful. And lastly, I just want to ask, what are some of the spiritual practices in your faith? You mentioned earlier that you pray, that's a daily practice. We in our community, we're big on meditation. What is your practice of that, and what spiritual practice do you engage in a regular basis?
So we do, as I mentioned at one point, prayer and prayer meditation is a very big component for us as a part of our services and our practice. What we also do is what we call Nam Japana, which I mentioned earlier, which is to speak the word or the name of God. And you can use any names, any number of names that you know, and countless more. And we also do Nam Simran, which is to remember the source, to remember the Creator. So it is not just speaking, it is also to be continuously within that and to meditate. And so wherever possible, you meditate and remember the source and the Creator.
Wonderful.
So those would be the practices.
Wonderful. And do you meditate daily? Is that something that is part of what people do?
Yeah. So you know what, you're asking me to be honest. Unfortunately, I don't do it every day.
No one here can relate.
No, but what I do find, thank you. You know, see now here's my.
We
challenge.
all do our best, my friend.
Here it is. You know, I got a reverend asking a question. I got to answer it honestly. Okay. And on top of it, I'm being recorded. So, okay. So actually, I do my best to do it, and I'll point this out. I would say wherever possible. And to me, it doesn't matter. I don't have to sit down anywhere. I can remember the source and the Creator, and I do. I'll remember them grocery line. I'll remember them while driving. I'll remember the source, the Creator, the divine.
Yes.
And even that is a form of remembrance.
Yes.
So, yes, I do. I do it every day.
Wonderful. All right. Good answer. Good answer.